Alrighty, everyone. So if you made it past LOI1, you should be in an orbit which is pretty similar to 60 nautical miles by 160 nautical miles. And per our votes, we're going to do the Apollo 14 through 17, which is LOI2 and right into DOI. So we will be taking the entire command module down with us to approximately 8 miles down to the surface. So in order to math our burn, we'll need to first take a look at where our periapsis or where our apoapsis is. Our apoapsis is going to become our periapsis, basically. And we could see our apoapsis right here is right by Seshi, and at longitudinal mark 44. And we need to be, starting ignition pretty much at that point, with the landing spot going to be 60 miles downrange from that. So we are in a pretty good spot for landing, all things considered. We've got lots of room over here. And worst case scenario, we just need to move ourselves over this hill into the flat area here. So this is a pretty good spot. It's right in the Sea of Tranquility, pretty close to where Apollo 11 had actually been. But let's say that you don't like that. You want to target a different spot. So you should target your periapsis. Let's say you wanted to come into, this area right here. You wanted to target around 330. You simply take 330 and subtract 180 from that. So if you want to grab your calculator, here we go. You can take 330, subtract 180, and that gets you 150. So you would need to put your ignition point at about 150. So here we go. So if we come into the burn planner, we can move our ignition point, basically. So let's start with 190, and let's see where that moved that. So if we zoom out, we're burning at phase 190, and we can see our ignition points right here. So we need to come the other direction then. We need to go further, basically. Let's go with 300. You can see that's going to move the ignition point. Let's try for... Oh, excuse me, that was a delta V of 300, my bad. I meant for an ignition point of 300. There we go. And basically you just want to, yep, so there's 300. Let's try, so if right here is 0, let's try... pretty close to... let's try 100. A little bit far. Yep, we can see it's just a little bit far. So let's try... let's try 80. Whoop, there we go. 70. Nope. 85. Excuse me, I meant 75. 74. 74.5. 74.5. 74.5. 74.7. There we go, right on target. So now we could see our periapsis would be below the surface. But just for dramatization purposes, let's see where that actually ends up. And you can see right about where we targeted. Right about where we targeted. That's where we would come down. Obviously, we're not going to impact the surface. So let's shift us over to 100 as a start. That's 19 nautical miles. Let's try 120. There we go. 8.6, pretty close. We could see our low point is almost exactly where we were targeting. We may just need to shift it a few more phases, but this is basically the general principle of how you're going to get your low point where you want it. However, for us, our orbit is pretty good. So let's burn at 0. And let us keep burning retrograde here, 200. That's 6.2 nautical miles, so let's back it off a little bit. Let's go 180. That's 20. Here we go, 190. 13. 198. 7.6 nautical miles. That's about 8, so we're pretty good there. There's no mountains or anything that's gonna come down and get us. So with that, we'll maybe brush this down to 197.5. 7.9 nautical miles, right? Exactly 8, pretty much. We'll go ahead and request that. All right. So once you've made that request, you can go ahead and start making your engine burn plan. So, or we start making your preparations for engine burn. So pretty much from there, it's going to be all the same. You'll need to, of course, time accelerate closer to your point of ignition. So we're going to go ahead and just pause the video, and I'm going to come around the moon one time, and then I'll see you back after that DOI. Or right up next to that LOI2+DOI burn. Okay, so a bit of a small correction here, because I was not happy with that altitude. You're actually supposed to be targeting about a 10 nautical mile orbit. So we can do, let's do 195. Excuse me, 190, 194. Let's see how that does. 10.4, let's do 195. That gets us 9.7. So that looks good. 195, we'll roll with that. Request. There we go. Sorry about that. Now I will see you guys when we get closer to that burn. Okay, we're back after our small little transit here. We're at 61 hours. Our burn is slated to start at 62 hours. I usually give myself a nice 1 hour buffer. And if you don't remember, you can auto plot these pads, which is pretty nice. So the first thing we're going to do is set up our digital autopilot. 21102 looks good. That weight for the command module is plus 40040. And let's see if we can get our lem weight here. Lem weight is 33296. Good. Our trim for this burn is plus 00025 and plus 00013. Now we can do our pre-burn data, 6256. That time of ignition looks really good. Proceed. Minus 195 looks good. Proceed. Predicted orbit 60 by 9.7 looks good. Proceed. And we've got the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count it down. There we go. Clock is good. Proceed. Let's torque the gyro. Verb 37. Enter. 52. Enter. At this point, if you have gyro drift enabled, please do a P52, option 3. And once you're done with that, you can go ahead and give yourself an option 1. Actually, I would prefer doing option 1 first, followed by an option 3. That's how it was done in real life. Give yourself that alignment. There we go. Do a GDC align. And this is currently bugged out, so just flip yourself on all these switches up, GDC align till it's aligned, and then add set back to GDC. Okay. Now we're pretty close to our burn. Let's go ahead and get an auto maneuver going for 000. Ensure spacecraft control on CMC. CMC mode auto. Proceed. Our delta V, let's plug it in for 195. There we go. We're in attitude, everything's looking pretty good. We can get ourselves about 30 minutes to the burn. We could even try a little closer, since there's not a whole ton of setup we need to do. Let's pop us out 25 minutes to the burn. Okay. So we don't need that any longer. Let's go for... wrong one. Let's go for the SPS burn. Here we go, P40. Verb 37, enter, 40, enter. Proceed to get our computer control of the attitude. Auto maneuver complete at T-minus 10 minutes. We'll just arm our batteries. TVC stuff. We do need to get circuit breakers in. Yeah, I'm surprised that that's not on the P40 checklist. DAP is loaded. Test caution and warning lamps. Good. Okay, P30 was complete. We maneuvered into attitude. We're on program 40. We accept auto maneuver. Ignition preparation. Yeah, this is interesting. It should have us close a lot of circuit breakers. For whatever reason. They are not in here. So, yep, the circuit breakers you'll just want to close then. Direct ullage. And the pitch and yaw circuit breakers. There you go. Just like that. Bring us down to about 10 minutes. There we go. Put the batteries on the bus. Those valves are in auto. Direct is both off. CMC auto, TVCs, rate command. BMEGs at 1, rate 2. Low, minimum. TVC gimbal drivers auto. Drive check. Oh, here are the circuit breakers. Yep, we would verify those are closed. No direct ullage, though. That's weird. TVC servo powers AC1 main A for number 1, AC2 main B for number 2. Trans control power on. You would go rotational control power to AC. Pitch 1 start. Yaw 1 start. Move the handle to clockwise. And then plug in the trim here, which was plus 25 minus 13. So verify real quick. No manual thrust vector control is verified. Pitch 2 start, yaw 2 start. Now the gimbals, we're just going to set to plus 0.25 as best as we can anyways. About right there. And plus 0.13, which is closer to 0.25 than it is to 0. So there we go. And now we'll make our check. Up, down, left, right. Very good. THC handle, neutral. Rotational control power, AC/DC. Back to BMEG rate 2, we will proceed to accept that. Auto maneuver again. It's going to go back to 5018. And once that's complete, back to attitude 1, rate 2. Verify manual attitude 3 to rate command, rate high. And then rotational hand control direct should be powered on. And now we will hit enter and proceed for the check of the computer's control of trim. Very good. And we get the count. At 2 minutes, we can go ahead and just make our time skip there. At 2 minutes, FTA scale 5.5, arm 1 thrust. I usually start with thrust A, verify trans control power on, and we wait for the burn. Not going to do tape recorder just because it's a bit of a hassle for beginners to reach all the way over there during the 30-second count. So don't worry about it. It doesn't do anything in reentry anyways. $40. Disky blank. Once the disky's up, we flip the EMS on. There we go. Perform ullage if required. Ullage is never required in reentry. $15, $14, $13, $12, $11, $10, $9, $8, $7, $6. Confirm the burn. Verb 99. Proceed. 2, 1. Ignition. Thruster B on. And shut down. Now we begin our post-burn procedures. Cut off +1 second. Thrusts disarmed. Disarmed. Guards closed. SPS thrust normal. Injector valves are all closed. Gimbals off, 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 off. We can go ahead and take off our TVC servos. Pull our circuit breakers. Take off our batteries. Hit Pro on the computer. We do not need to trim this burn. Everything looks pretty good. So we can hit Proceed. Go back to 0. Get EMS to off. Rate back to low. Scale 5-1. Trans control power off. Direct power off. B mags back to rate 2. And that completes that DOI. If we take a look. Here's our brand new periapsis at 9.4 nautical miles. That's good enough for powered descent. So next up is going to be boarding the lunar module, which is going to be, well, kind of crazy. And in that spirit, we will be truly doing one checklist at a time. I know we've kind of been stretching that truth a little bit. It's more like one procedure at a time. Yeah, the lunar module is truly going to be, at some point, one checklist at a time. So some of those checklists will last all of a minute, some of them 30 seconds, and some of them 20 or 25 minutes. Depends on how spicy the computer wants to be. But yeah, so I'll see you around then for that boarding of the LEM and that LEM activation. So that's gonna be great fun. Thanks for watching.